By the time I finally get back to my room, I feel so tired, even though I spent most of the ride back sleeping. I can't say it's only because of today. This seems like a familiar symptom of traveling. It's not the first time it's happened. Thus, it's like the longer you're in a vehicle traveling, the more freaking tired you become. Which, at least for me, so I kind of feel thankful that I'm not the driver. I freaking wouldn't. I don't even know if I'll ever learn how to drive because I just can't really picture it. If no one has beaten me to it, so I could do a thesis. Is it pronounced thesis or? I'm gonna check. Yeah, thesis. I wonder if that freaking made the audio go out of sync there. Because the audio from the novel stopped when it accidentally clicked on a different freaking window. Whatever, if no one has beat me to it, I could do a thesis on it. Maybe get in a medical journal. Returning from a trip syndrome. Not very creative. I fall asleep before I can think of a better name. Well, it's like you got Stockholm syndrome and stuff like that. It was just like, oh, because the original case of it happened in Stockholm, so we'll name it that. I remember reading like something called Jumping or something Frenchman something. I can't remember what it was. But that's a pretty weird freaking name, isn't it? A loud knock on my door wakes me up. Only a few hours into my nap. I'm annoyed because I had just been in the middle of a dream that I can't remember. Haven't been woken up in the middle of it, but I'm sure it was a good one. I briefly wonder who it could be, but it's not like I get many visitors, so I'm sure it's Kenji. Hope he is just rolling out the welcome wagon and not going to hit me up for money again. If that's the case, I'd be almost touched. Not touched enough to fight off the urge to roll over and go back to sleep, though. You idiot, it was probably Shizune, you know. A few hours after that, I wake up again and immediately spot an envelope on the floor. Must be something that came in the mail while I was away. That's Shizune and Misha's department, so I wonder if they dropped by to give it to me, or maybe someone held in for them in their absence and told Kenji to pass it along. Of course, that familiar letter. When I pick it up, any remnants of sleepiness in me instantly vanish. Even the name of the sender wasn't on it. Oh, even if the name of the sender wasn't on it, I would have known whom it was from by looking at the envelope itself, realizing why it looked so familiar, by recognizing the delicate handwriting addressing it. It's from Iwanako. At first I can't believe it, but it wouldn't be too hard for her to track me down if she wanted to. Of course I hadn't thought that she would want to. She was maybe my girlfriend for 5 seconds. After that we barely spoke to each other. It'd be too easy to put this letter away somewhere and forget about it. Part of me wants to do that, or throw it away unread. Why I want to do these things, I don't know. It would be easy to do them, easier than to read it. Sitting the envelope open with the tip of a pen, I'm surprised by the length of the letter that spills out. Dear Hisao, how are you? I hope you are well and happy at your new school. Everyone here misses you. Almost all of our second year class got put together in class 3-1 for the final year, so we're pretty comfortable right from the beginning of the year. I'm sure you would have been assigned to this class as well. The mood among the third years seems to be very anxious about the final exams, even though they're so far away. The teachers are badgering us about it all the time. Even old Mr. Tachibana, who is, by the way, our homeroom teacher this year. Would you believe it? I was sure that he'd retire after second year, but here he is, nagging everyone about studying for exams. I think things like this are the main reason why the mood among the third years is so nervous. I must admit that I'm somehow losing confidence in myself as well, even though I've always fared reasonably well in exams. Small talk makes me feel nostalgic. It's almost like I'm in the hospital again. Every now and then Iwanako would drop by and give me the gist of what was going on in a class that, even then, I had an inkling that I would never return to. It's so weird to think we are already seniors, isn't it? Time has really flown by. I wonder where it went. The new first year seems so young, and somehow really innocent. I keep wondering if I was like them in my first year. I've been feeling nostalgic like this for the whole first trimester. There are other things I want to say. I'm writing to you because I felt that there are things I should have said after the incident back in winter. I really regret that I wasn't able to say them in person, and I have no excuse for it. The truth is, the times when I visited you at the hospital made me worried about you. I'm not talking about your health. You seem to become more distant and disheartened. It's natural after something like that happened, I'm sure. But somehow I got the feeling that you had given up on something back then. Happiness, maybe. So technically, Iwanako was worried about his health. It was his mental health that she was more worried about. I wanted to somehow express my feelings, but the right words didn't come to me. I couldn't say anything to comfort you. I'm really sorry for not being able to support you when it mattered the most. Even though I like you so much, at least now, finally I can be more honest. What a convenient time for her to rediscover her sincerity. Well, even as I think that, I know she's right. Distant and disheartened is a good way to describe it, and maybe I'd given up too. It weighs on my heart when I think back to when I was just lying in the hospital, feeling so bitter when she finally stopped showing up. I wasn't surprised, and I had no right to be. How could she not stop coming when it was the only expectation I had of her? She dropped by only for all of 6 weeks after the incident. If I drifted away from her, it was because I could feel her already moving herself away from me the moment she showed up. If I could go back to those quiet days in February and March, I'd tell you not to give up on yourself. That's what I would say. Maybe you wouldn't have drifted so far away if I had just said something. I hope you managed to get back on your feet on your own. Now that the distance between us is also physical, it also feels more final somehow. I wonder if we will meet again. Perhaps it's for the best if we don't. Still, if you would like to correspond with me, by all means write me back. I'd very much like to hear about your new school and how you're doing. I wish you all the best. Sincerely, Iwanako. It's a strange feeling. I know that I'm never going to hear from her again. If she really wanted to keep in touch, she wouldn't have picked a medium like snail mail to do it through. If she could get my address, then my email or phone number wouldn't have been much more work. Had she wanted them, this is only a goodbye. I exhale, only just now becoming aware that I had been reading with bated breath. Now who's being distant, Iwanako? But maybe it really is for the best. For her to pick up a pen and write this letter to me, it can only be because she felt guilty about how things ended. That she was hurt by how we floated out of each other's lives makes me feel a sort of wistful happiness. I almost want to thank her, and I only don't because I know she wouldn't want me to reply. There's a knock at my door, then it opens anyway about a millisecond later. I forgot to lock it, stupidly. "Sup, man? Why's your door open?" I run to the door faster than he is probably medically safe for me to do so I can prevent Kenji from seeing the mountains of pills just a couple of feet away from him, blocked from his sight only by the door. Then there's the letter I'm holding. If he asks about it, I don't think I could make up anything convincing. About 2 feet away from him, I realize that his vision is so bad that it was probably never an issue. He didn't even see me about to practically tackle him back through the door frame. "Hey, what the hell, man? What are you talking about? Your room has a billion locks on it. You just barged right through all the people's doors. You didn't even wait a second after knocking before you tried the door. It was like simultaneous. You were already opening the door while you were knocking on it. See, that's exactly why I have all those locks. It's a cold and uncaring world out there. The gate crashes well. Now you also understand. Just taught you a valuable lesson, dude. Knowledge is power. Why are you yelling at me? I'm a hero. Look at you. You didn't even lock your door. The average woman could have killed you a billion times already. They replaced you with a female clone indistinguishable from the original. It almost happened to me. Ignoring the latter part, since it's too confusing, it's funny you should say that. He was unable to stop me from tackling him head on. Yet apparently a woman could have killed me a billion times. This man is a hero. We are all doomed. What's that you've got there? Somehow... I hate that when you get hair in your mouth. Yeah. Somehow he's able to see the letter still in my hand with how I've been waving it around. There's no surprise. I fold it back up quickly, but take care not to whip it behind my back or anything else. That would be too suspicious. It seems like I'm jumpier than I thought about Iwanako. Pardon me, writing to me. I got a letter. The name on the envelope said, Mary. No. Oh yeah, I put that there. I was sleeping and I woke up because I heard explosions. I put on my helmet and then peeked outside to see what was going on. It was just that student council woman banging on your door. It was the one without pink hair. She was knocking so loudly that it was obvious she was filled with murderous rage. Rage at you, then she somehow sensed me behind her and I tried to escape. It was too late. She caught me and started pointing at the door. Open my mouth, tell him that she's deaf, but decide not to, for various reasons. I didn't really get it, and she got more and more pissed off, like an old man trying to use a touchscreen phone. Okay, maybe it's because, you know, it's up, they're essentially quite up in the hills, mountain and all that, so the signal would be shit. But I find the fact that they don't really mention, you know, modern technology all that much kind of confusing. She's gonna kill me and replace me with a woman version of me. But then the sunlight reflected off my glasses and blinded her, saved my life. It was like, behold, optic blast! I don't get how someone with glasses can be hurt by glasses. She uses them too. She should be immune to their death rays. But whatever, she gave me this envelope with your name on it and just left. Clearly she was out for blood, so I lied and said you were away. I think you were away, right? I've been trying to ask you if you wanted to help me with my homework for a week now, but kept getting no answer. Welcome back, man. Thanks. Yeah, so she gave me this envelope and it had your name on it. I didn't want to hold on to it, because what if it was a bomb? So I just shoved it under your door. When she was gone. Just like, thought it might have been a bomb, so I thought you should have it, not me. I was gonna tell you, but, you got back before I could. At least not a bomb. Gee, thanks. I'm not gonna help you out with your math homework, because what if your math textbook is a bomb? He looks devastated, and also looks like he's considering the possibility that it really could be a bomb. I guess it is possible, since no one really uses their math book all that much. I throw the letter on the dresser behind me and turn to leave, swinging the door shut behind me as I do. It collides against the tip of Kenji's shoe and bounces back open, while he hops around for a bit, acting like it hurt way more than it should have. Before I know it, he's already inside my room. I'm powerless to stop him before he scoops up the letter, strangely ignoring the towers of pill bottles surrounding it. Don't just read mail that isn't your own. Come on, what is it? A love letter from your girlfriend? Did she include any photos? Sexy photos? Reclining against the dresser and paying no mind to the bottles he sends all over the floor by doing so, Kenji quietly reads through Iwanako's letter. The process takes seemingly forever, and with how close he holds it up to his face, makes it look like he's trying to eat it. Who's Iwanako? My ex-girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend, huh? Is it a breakup letter then? I thought they were a myth. No, I guess it is, but really, she's been my ex-girlfriend for a while. Anyway, I think I'm already over it. Kenji gives a thumbs up. Kenji approved! Clearly relieved that I am not going to take this into an awkward direction, although I must want to since I told him not to read it. Yeah, that's a good attitude. It's alright, I had a bad breakup too, but you can't let it get you down. I mean, just look at me. But hey, she wrote you a letter. Maybe she wants to get back together, huh? Says right there, right in her back. You should do it. Is she cute? For a guy who thinks feminists are working to enslave men everywhere, he really is interested in cute girls. I have a girlfriend, besides. Look at the context. She doesn't want me to write back, just because that's what it says. That isn't what she means. That's what you wrote. This rock-fist kid chick totally still wants you. It even says it right here. What? This rockfish kid chick? What? I read it, so I know what it says. I told you, you have to look at the context. She said I drifted away from her, and everything there shows she accepted that. I think the reason she wrote to me is that she just wants to, I guess, part amicably, whatever. But we're done. She doesn't want to get back together, or whatever you're thinking. As I think about it more, it sounds to me like I'm just trying to make excuses for myself. That's not a good place to be. I'm positive that she doesn't want me to write her back. I can live with that. If I were to write her back and get a less than desirable response, or no response, then I would just be crushed. Perhaps the fear of that is why I'm trying to justify my decision. It could be, but I don't want to think about it. The thought is oddly repulsive. Why is this such a big deal to you, anyway? Because you should write back to her. She wants you to. I want to see what the response is going to be. Damn, it doesn't even have to be a nice letter. That's cool too. But he could write an angry letter and call her out. That's my new attack strategy. I'm just gonna call women out. You should try it. Even if she wrote me a letter, you have to understand what that means. Writing someone a letter is different now. It's not something you just do, not in this kind of situation. You can pick up your phone and call someone across the world in an instant and talk to them almost like they were with you, or send them an email. They'll be notified instantly that they got it and can reply back, just like that. Honestly, the email sounds more efficient. I mean, the phone call, that's gonna freaking cost a lot, wouldn't it? A letter can be a personal thing, but she wanted to keep me at an arm's distance. It's not like I can pop over there and visit her. If I had her number, I could call her, or if I had her mail, I could mail her. If she really wanted to hear back from me, she would have dropped one of those in there. I feel silly for continuously reassuring myself that I am not fazed by Iwanako writing to me, when it's so obvious that I am. That could be like it could be like a gradual thing for her. She might be too shy to call you up. I remember my girlfriend would always send me text messages because she was so shy. It was annoying as hell, man. I didn't really give a shit about phones, so I didn't have the thing, and it turns out I had to pay for every single one. But I don't like phones, so I couldn't even call her back to tell her to cut that out. What? How did she text then if he did have a phone? Wait, that is what he said, right? But I didn't like phone. Okay, so maybe he did have a phone then. And again, it seems like it kind of indicates that Kenji and Yuko might have been a couple at some point. Because, I don't know, it seems to kind of hint at it, but it never outright confirms it. I did it anyway, though. I called her out. I even used a phone. It was literally the call out. Yes, it was. Even if he's right, it means that Iwanako still wants to keep her distance from me. She's not ready to chat with me comfortably. Why? Am I some kind of freak? I'm not reassured by her actions anyway, in that case. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I just don't know. Kenji can't think of anything to say to that, and the silence follows is so awkward and thick that I start to count the seconds until he makes up a reason to leave and excuse himself. I miss her. Your ex? Yeah, even if she was insane, it was nice being with her. My back hurts. If she were still around, I could call her to massage it. I don't know how to use an oven either. I miss big food, and we would go bowling in the hallway sometimes. I miss that too. I had to bowl all by myself during that last festival. But honestly, at the same time, if it was Yuko, can you imagine this? Maybe. It'd be kind of surreal seeing them as a couple. You bowl in the hallway? You're gonna hit someone. She used to say that all the time. Kenji sighs nostalgically, clearly not appreciating just how badly someone can get hurt by slipping on a bowling pin. Apparently neither did his girlfriend, since she bowled with him. What a strange definition of love, but I guess it's something. So, what did she always say? Yeah, you know, you're going to hit someone. I don't know if I've ever heard Yuko say anything like that, so I don't know. Maybe you should write her a letter. If she writes back, you can get married. Married? No! Okay, fine, but why not? You clearly like her even though you hate women. Feminists, not women, feminists. There's a difference. Not non-feminist women. Damn, your discrimination is incredible. Correlation doesn't equal causation. Even if she's insane on a woman, doesn't mean she's a feminist insane woman. Well, at least it's finally kind of revealed. He doesn't actually hate women, he just hates feminism or something. It's like how the absence of evidence isn't the evidence of absence. If it's true, then by the relative property, the presence of evidence doesn't equal the evidence of presence. Actually, I think it is, and I don't think it's called a relative property. No, shut up, it's mathematics. You saying math is wrong? I think he is wrong. So even Kenji has someone that he likes. I'm tempted to ask why he and his ex broke up, or to dig for more information in general. But I shouldn't. Not only would it be prying, but he might reverse the question back to me. But it would be so interesting to know about that, though. This conversation makes me think about you today, although the thoughts I'm having are scattered and wispy, just questions. I wonder if I even had the chance to love Iwanako, and this whole situation with her still stings me. A sour note in the back of my mind. I like Shizune much more, yet it feels like I am chasing her. Even now, I don't mind the chase, but I want to close that distance between us. Iwanako's letter is responsible, but I've also felt this way for a while. I've come closer, but it's not enough. I want to try again, right now. I tell Kenji to get out so I can change, and then head for the student council room. The grounds are mostly deserted today, which is a shame, because it's so nice out. No one answers when I knock. I try to go in anyway, but it's locked. When I pull my hand away from the doorknob, it's covered in dust. Looks like no one's been here since we left. Since I'm already out here and dressed, I might as well get something to eat in town. My wallet is back in my room, though. Oh? On my way back there, I stumble across Misha sitting down behind the main building. Her eyes are closed in sleep, and she looks very tranquil. It's always been hard to picture her not constantly bouncing around or hopping on the tips of her toes impatiently. My first instinct is to call out to her and ask her if she has seen Shizune, or if she wants to go to town with me, but now that I've seen her, I don't feel like disturbing her. I'll leave her alone. Do-do-do. You know, Ram at the start of this recording is like, stress and all that, and it still feel like that, but feel a little chilled out, you know, after recording a bit here. Feel a bit more relaxed after, you know, reading, I guess. The first few days after I was back here, I almost forgot that I was in the student council. I managed to pick up here and there, and student council usually gets swamped with work around the end of the break, but it didn't have to be the case. The few times when I managed to catch Shizune or Misha, they were in too much of a hurry for me to get a chance to ask if they needed help. Anytime they weren't, I'd hardly be able to get a hold of Misha. Shizune would say something about how there was work, but it was so little that involving Misha or I would only bore us. After a while, the idea of having some free time again had started to grow on me, though there were still periods when I felt like I had too much of it. Just when I was getting used to it though, things changed again. Now I find myself back in the student council room, arguing with Shizune about whether tissue boxes make good ballot boxes or not. How random. I'm telling you, they work just fine, as long as we get the cube-shaped ones, not the rectangular ones. Misha, can you sign that to her? I've kinda got my hands full. Second thought, forget it. She's busy cutting out ballot slips, so if she were to make one errand movement, she would probably send those scissors flying into someone's head. I dropped the box of poster paints I'm carrying onto my little table in the student council room and coughed as a wave of dust hits me in the face. It really has been a while. Do you think we should change the sides of the ballot slips? What? But Chi-chan, I already cut out so many of them. We can make them smaller. It will be more efficient. We just have to shrink the font, I mean. All ballots will fill in a single box that way. We'll only need half the amount of paper then. The format for voting can be changed. It could be more like a real election. Then we might be able to get away with buying less boxes. With the money left over, we can get a pizza, or maybe Chinese, or a cake, or 3 bowls and a new ramen bowl I want to try. Shizune excitedly rubs a finger along the frame of her glasses as she ponders more ways to cut even a half yen of spending off of our budget. Since I think she is the only one who even knows what our budget is, I'm scared to ask just how tiny it is for her to have to do this. What about all the ballot slips Misha already cut out? Don't worry, I can make them into memo pads and sell them in the school store. Shi-chan, they don't look very cute though. Shizune seems to disagree. Now they're arguing, but it looks like it consists of nothing more than signing yes they do and no they don't at each other until they're so tired of it that they're just taking turns pointing at each other commendingly. It's strange, partly because it looks kind of ridiculous, but also because I've never seen them disagree. Then again, both of them have looked very stressed the past few days. These are my people! I totally relate to you guys! Stress! Ow! Shizune has been increasingly absorbed in the idea of student council elections that they're months away. I imagine this is how politicians act when they realize the regime change is imminent and their era is over. Yeah, it does seem to happen. Like, come election time, politicians are like, they're just like, fuck things up. All the way leading up to that, and they'd be like, oh, fuck, man, I'm not popular with the people anymore because I'm such a fucking dickhead. All these months I've been in power. Fuck, I gotta win. Okay, I'm a politician. I know what must be done. I know Exactly how I got in this position in the first place. I'll bullshit my way to victory. Just like, I will promise you the world and more. Vote for me. And some people will be like, no. Some people will be like, oh yeah, we'll trust you again even though you bullshitted us. I mean, surely this politician's not talking out of their ass 2 times in a row, or even 3 times in a row, right? I'm having trouble taking student council matters seriously at all, even now as I practice my calligraphy on skill signs that won't go up for weeks, but I can understand why Shizune does. After all, she has been student council president for 3 years. According to her dad, she has wanted the job for even longer. Guess 3 years is too short a career for her to leave feeling satisfied. Did the last student council go through this much trouble to make it a smooth transition for you? Shizune makes a chagrin face that tells me they weren't very helpful at all. Guess you're doing all this to get a good example, set a good example then. That only comes into play if they learn anything from it, Hichan. If they don't, I'll be hyper mad. If they turn out to be the flaky type, I'll definitely be hard on them. Doesn't sound very threatening when Misha's saying it. So, you already met them? Haha, Hichan, there are no candidates yet. What? None? Not even for student council president. That's why I'm trying to drum up interest for the position. What do you think? She proudly holds up a poster she has been working on herself. Looks very, military. You might be taking this a little too seriously, then. Shizune frowns and plays with her glasses, offended. Is that weird? Yes. She looks oddly happy that I'm disagreeing with her, and I think that if she weren't generally focused on what she was doing, she would try to argue with me just because it would be interesting to her. What's weird about it? It looks like she will do that after all, but then Shizune waves her hand dismissively like she is trying to catch the words in the air and delete them. Instead, she catapults into insulting her future successors. Well, one thing that's weird is that my old school, the elections would happen in about 6 months since, you know, we graduated in March. It's pretty weird to think about them so early. It's a little different here. Shi-chan, I'll be discouraged if we don't have any replacements when I have to go, Shi-chan says. But it isn't like the school will stop running without a student council. It'll be harder for them to hand out forms, though. Ha ha ha! Shizune isn't laughing, however. Misha's joke caused her to flinch as if she were stung. Though Misha didn't mean for it to come out that way, her quip had a color's cruelty to it in the end. I'm trying to get some people to run, but everyone is so lazy. They think they can take it easy just because there are no deadlines yet. Slackers not taking the early game advantage. And again, after, you know, seeing Shizune's dad, you can see where she gets it from. Still 6 months away. If they aren't making their move now, they don't deserve a vote. Do they really think it's such an easy job that they can do everything at the last minute and just coast into the role? Insulting, really, really. They're going to be eaten alive once they have to sit at this tiny desk and see just how much work they have to do. If this were a real election, they would be in deep trouble. I was reading about Japanese campaigning laws the other day, only the bad ones for some reason. For some reason. A second Shizune was talking like her father there, and it was coming out of Misha's mouth. Creepy. Well, first off, Shadow Shogun, you can't really make that call. They'd be elected. Second, it's just a school election. It's not like running for the student city council, or the diet. I don't think Japanese campaigning laws apply. Third, although I don't want to say it, I'm nervous that Shizune is so enthusiastic about this, talking of elections and votes. According to her dad, she wasn't even elected herself. Come to think of it, I can't remember Shizune ever saying she was elected either. Then did she get this position by being recruited into the student council and having it fall apart until she was the only one left? Somehow I never considered it. I don't know what to think about that, but it wouldn't surprise me. We're only 3 people strong now. If the circumstances behind her becoming a student council president were that sad, I wonder if there will be a vote at all. Interest could just be that low or non-existent really. Then all her energy would be going towards nothing. I slapped an exclamation mark on the end of the poster I'm working on. It's a little plain, so I think adding one is okay. Actually, it still might be a little too plain. I make the mark twice as large. I still say you need to slow down. If the stuff isn't going to be relevant for months, maybe you're working a little too hard on it. That's what I think. You're worrying too much. Holy shit, it's like you're talking to me. It's like, when I freaking, like, my mind just thinks of things months away, record-wise and stuff like that. I'm just like, It's like, I don't want to help with that freaking Project Diva F2 because, like, I've realized how stressful it'd be, so I'm essentially just being like, no, I won't LP it, essentially. Or if I do, I will do it at whatever pace. No actual schedule to it. And then I think about October LPs and it's like, oh, what will I do? What will I do? And I'm like, maybe I won't even do the October special and maybe just introduce like a new LP and that's it. Or something at that point. I'm just like, I hate that. I've never been good at planning because of shit like that. I don't know how to sign the word relevant, so I try and only end up flicking a long line of paint where I didn't intend to. There is no way I can fix that. Misha, can you ask her that? She then giggles silently, clenching her teeth so that no sound actually comes out. Because there's a lot to worry about. Like what? Like usually the boxes end up looking very pretty, so people take them. Have to plan for that. We should make them funny looking this time. Then so no one will take them. How about that, Chi-chan? We can draw some weird faces on them, or we can put a little picture of Suzune on each one saying stealing is wrong. No, it's not funny. It's not the only problem either. There is voter turnout, of course. And then the worst case scenario would be not having any candidates. Although it seems she meant it jokingly from the way she smiles as she signs it, that isn't how it comes out. Even Misha understands that the possibility is very real, and though she tries to salvage the mood by punctuating Shirsune's statement with a laugh, it doesn't work. What is wrong with both of you? I was just making a joke. There actually is some interest this year. If there wasn't, would I be doing all this work? I'm not stupid. When the elections are over, I'll buy everyone dinner. I'm already planning it. Even the new student council? No, they can buy their own celebration dinner. It will only be for the current student council. Interruption. It will only be for the current student council. I'll be happy once I'm through having to do these thankless jobs all the time. Dinner just for us! Yay! It's like a little party, Chi-chan! Their cheerfulness is obviously forced. I say nothing. For the rest of the period, which fortunately isn't very long, we work in silence. After class, I found the student council room locked. It's strange because Shide was so busy earlier that I would expect her to continue working after school. It would be that she would normally do. Maybe she listened to my suggestion and decided to take a break. I'm hoping it's that simple. Feeling a little uneasy, I take a brief stroll around the school. Birds chirping loudly. It's only half conscious. I can't remember when I started moving my feet, but I've already covered enough of the campus that I'm starting to feel tired. Not that that means anything now. Just a short stroll around the school grounds and I'm already winded. Really pathetic. Before I know it, I'm back at the front of the student council office. There's someone else too this time. Oh, finally! I can put a random cliffhanger and call it a recording. How long has this recording been? That happens every time! Hour and 39 minutes. It feels like it's a lot longer, but it's not. I was expecting it to be like a bit over 2 hours or something. So that's like maybe 3 or so parts. But still, I might, take a break from recording. But we'll see, I guess. Depends how I feel. Because I feel like crap the past few days. So anyways, I'll see you next time, viewers. See you next time.